A very good afternoon. You're watching India Today with me, Nabila Jamal. I'm right now in Mangaluru Taluk, Dakshina Kannada district in Karnataka, where we're seeing a surge and quite some shortage in the vaccination supply. Before that, I'm going to take you through this top breaking news that's coming in from Tamil Nadu. M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, has now written to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Stalin writes to the Prime Minister and requests the Integrated Vaccine Complex, IVC, in Chengalpet near Chennai may be handed over to the state government on lease. This is his request, saying that without any past liabilities and with full operational freedom, the centre should consider handing this over to the state. Talking about how the vaccine manufacturing facility set up by the central government at a cost of 700 crores is lying without any operation, and urging that IVC, if made operational, will be able to cater to the needs of the state as well as the country. This is the letter written by M.K. Stalin to the Prime Minister. Let me quickly cut across to Akshay now, joining us more details. Akshay, do take us through M.K. Stalin's letter asking for more control on this vaccination program. Do take us through exactly what he means in that letter.
Well, Nabila, what we're seeing here in the state of Tamil Nadu is that the number of vaccines provided for the state is not sufficient, and M.K. Stalin stating that vaccination is the only solution to combat the COVID-19 virus. He's demanding that the centre gives the state the responsibility to run the vaccination complex which is there in Chengalpet. It has been lying not used for the last 9 years. It was made with money of around 700 crores, Nabila, and it has been lying inactive. And this vaccination facility will be able to produce a large number of vaccine which can be catered to not only the state of Tamil Nadu but across the country, is what M.K. Stalin has stated. And he's requested that the centre provide the responsibility of complete operations without any past liability to the Tamil Nadu government. And the government has in fact said that they will try to coordinate this with some private players and will ensure vaccination production in the Chengalpet facility. And as far as the centre is concerned, around 700 crore has already been invested into the project, but they were looking for more private investment into this project to continue operations there. And the centre has been unable to find anybody to help its operation facilities. So at this juncture, we're seeing that M.K. Stalin is requesting and demanding that the state be given the right to operate without any past liabilities, Nabila. This would mean that the vaccination production in the state as well as in the country can increase, and this will help a lot of people who are still waiting for that vaccination, Nabila.
Right. Akshay, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Now, furthermore, M.K. Stalin has launched the vaccine drive for those between the age group of 18 to 44. He's come forward and urged people within this age group to come forward, take the vaccine and end the spread of this virus at the earliest. Pramod brings us this report.
The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, is presently at a school in North Chennai, and here he's initiating the vaccination drive for 18 to 44, and that's M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. And almost 2 days back, this drive has also been initiated where people between the age of 18 to 44 are also getting their vaccination. There you could see one young person is getting the vaccination here, and here the Tamil Nadu government claims that within the past 2 days, the vaccination has increased to a maximum of 2.4 lakhs per day. Now, the Tamil Nadu government claims that they are giving extended support to make sure that everybody gets vaccinated. And not just that, earlier itself, the Tamil Nadu government has also given out an order by which people between the age of 18 to 44, they are categorizing as the topmost priority of that would be construction workers and workers working in various firms. They would be given priority. This is a very prominent step that has been taken in the state of Tamil Nadu, and we are under a third week of lockdown, which there is a possibility for extension as well. And here, considering that scenario, the Tamil Nadu government is actually promoting vaccination drive in a larger manner. With video journalist Divyan, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
All right, we do know that people on the front lines, like the police department, we're often seen arguing with the police for doing their job. They're asking us to stay indoors, but we're always picking a bone with them. Have we ever really stopped to thank them for the selfless service that they've been conducting or carrying out ever since the pandemic began, standing on the front lines, ensuring that people are safe while putting their own lives at risk? If you haven't thanked them already, it's now time that we do.
Assistant Sub-Inspector Mari Macha was a man of integrity. He never missed work in his 33 years of service. On the day he passed away, he was ready in his uniform to leave for duty on the front lines when he collapsed.
ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನಡಿಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಥರನೇ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದರು. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಂಜೆ ಬರೋರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಅವರು ಡ್ಯೂಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಷ್ಟೇ ನನಗೆ.
ಸಮಾಜ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಮನೆ ಆಯಿತು ಅಮ್ಮ ಆಯಿತು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಗೇಟಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಅಂಗಡಿಗೂ ಸುದ ಹೋದವರಲ್ಲ. ಅಪ್ಪನೇ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ತಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ತುಂಬ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ತುಂಬ ಸಿನ್ಸಿಯರು ವರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟು ವಯಸ್ಸಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಅಭಿಮಾನ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋರು ನಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿನೇ ನನ್ನ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ.
Chan Pasha is the father of 41-year-old Yasin, a traffic constable who lost his life to COVID while ensuring people adhered to lockdown norms. His young son's death has not deterred Pasha, himself a retired cop, from continuing his duty as chief of security at the Baptist Hospital.
18 years की उम्र में जॉब मिला उसको. इतना फिजिकल और मेरिट में था. दोनों से भी उसका सिलेक्शन हुआ. जॉब अच्छी तरह से निभा रहा था, उसका कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. अभी नेक्स्ट 2-3 महीने में उसका प्रमोशन भी होने वाला था. मेरे को हिम्मत देता, तुम परेशानी करो लोगों को, बतवा क्या करेंगे, हालत तो ऐसी अल्लाह ताला दे दिया. अभी हमारे मन से अभी वो दर्द नहीं गया.
48 deaths in just 1 month. The COVID-19 second wave has been unsparing on the police department in Karnataka. The rising toll among police personnel hasn't stopped hundreds of police personnel like Circle Inspector K. Vishwanath from stepping out to do their duty, aware they're exposing themselves to the virus.
Past from 1.5 years, he's trying to help the needy people from the day of the lockdown starts. Till now, from the first was in Jigni station. That time he had distributed the food kits, medicines. Now also the pandemic, again it is becoming more and more. Because of that, many people are suffering from this pandemic also is very severe these days, and because of that he can't come to our house also. When even he is scared of touching the kids, when he comes he just takes a bath and puts a sanitizer, then he touches the kids. Now my children also miss them.
Over 160 police officers have died in Karnataka since coronavirus outbreak last year.
The first wave was a lesson for us. We, as you know, the police job is such that they are highly vulnerable. They are interacting with all infected people. Yes. They are on the roads to ensure that people don't come on the roads. They were on the state borders. They were on the airports. They were on the COVID care centers, they were on the hospitals, they were everywhere, and as a result there was a lot of collateral damage. In the first phase, as I said, 90,000 force, we got 10,000 positive cases and 102 of them lost their life. That was devastating. Every day, I remember the first death took place on 16th of June, and since then till September, almost every day 1 or 2 policemen were losing their life. Right. That was devastating. The morale of the force was, I would say, shaking. And as chief of police, I consider my biggest duty or biggest responsibility is to ensure that the morale of the force doesn't go down.
The number of deaths within the police department has not deterred the police force from coming forward and committing to their duties. Be it the civil force, the fire brigade, the traffic police, the reserve police, they've all stepped up to rise to the occasion, prioritize people's lives first before their own. Kudos to their efforts. With camera person Pavan Kumar, Nabila Jamal for India Today, Bengaluru. Right, there's some fresh trouble, it seems like, is brewing for the Chief Minister of Karnataka. It seems like a lot of the MLAs are now ganging up against the Chief Minister. In the midst of this COVID crisis, several BJP MLAs are now camping against him. In fact, the MLAs have reportedly urged the High Command to call a legislative party meet soon enough to decide on the next leadership. It seems like the camp has been divided into two halves in the mid of a pandemic. Let's take a look at this report by Nagarjun.
He's been infected with COVID-19 twice and now battles a particularly aggressive viral crisis in his state. But that is not the end of the Karnataka Chief Minister's troubles. All through the pandemic, there have been constant murmurs in the power corridors. B.S. Yediyurappa's time is up, and that the BJP leadership planned to replace him long before. Over the last 18 months, there have been sporadic eruptions from within, with MLAs speaking in public against Yediyurappa. But the tide against the sitting Chief Minister has become more potent. MLAs have started to unite, even dashing to Delhi to meet the BJP High Command in an effort to shake Yediyurappa off his chair.
ಆ ಥರದ್ದೇನು ನನ್ನ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೇರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನನ್ನ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿರೋದು ನನ್ನ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
ಬಟ್ ಈ ವಿಚಾರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸತ್ಯ.
100%. ಅದರಲ್ಲೇನು ಡೌಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರೆಲ್ಲ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋವಂಥದ್ದು ನಾನು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅವರ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಆದ್ಯತೆ ಕರೋನಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಜನಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಆದ್ಯತೆ. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
There have been several triggers. The latest is a recent decision on the sale of 3,667 acres land to JSW Steel in Bellary. The BJP had earlier opposed the proposal by the Congress-JDS coalition, even sitting on a dharna. 4 angry BJP MLAs wrote to Chief Minister to protest. Another powerful trigger has been Karnataka's handling of COVID. Several MLAs are facing the heat from their constituents for not being able to ensure enough beds and emergency medical care. Public anger across Karnataka is being aimed at local public representatives, who now weaponized that anger against their boss, the Chief Minister. So what now? Some MLAs have met the High Command seeking instructions to the CM to call a legislative party meet to decide on a leadership change. MLAs are also likely to collect signatures of this anti-Yediyurappa camp to prove their strength and back their demand.
ನೋಡೋಣ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳು. ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಇರೋದು ಕೋವಿಡ್, ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಜನಹಿತ ಕಾಪಾಡುವಂಥ, ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ನನಗೆ ಆದ್ಯತೆ. ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಬಂದರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ತಾನೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿ ಇಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಸಕರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿ ಎದುರಿಸೋ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಹೊರತು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಎದುರಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಆದ್ಯತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಅಗತ್ಯ.
Yediyurappa, the Lingayat strongman, cannot be so easily dethroned, and has proven in the past that looking beyond him can be a problematic exercise for the BJP.
ಸೂರ್ಯ ಚಂದ್ರ ಇರೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸತ್ಯನೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸತ್ಯ. ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಸಾಹೇಬರು 2023 ತನಕ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನೋ ಕಪೋಕಲ್ಪಿತ ಮಾತುಗಳಿದೆ, ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಭಾಳ ಬಾಲಿಶ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಥ ಸಂದಿಗ್ಧ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಕರೋನಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸಂದಿಗ್ಧ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಅಪ್ಪಿತಪ್ಪಿ ನಾಯಕತ್ವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನ ಚೀತು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಉಗೀತಾರೋ ಹೊರತು ಬೇರೆ ಏನೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದರಿಂದ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
But if mission Exit does manage to gather strength, and if BJP High Command decides to replace Yediyurappa with another Lingayat, these are the 4 probables. Laksam Sawadi, present Deputy Chief Minister, Murgesh Nirani, Cabinet Minister, Basangauda Yatnal, present MLA and former Union Minister, or Basavraj Bommai, present Cabinet Minister. If BJP decides to go with communities other than Lingayats, these are the 5 probables. CN Ashwath Narayan, he is from the Vokaliga community and present Deputy CM. Pralhad Joshi, from the Brahmin community and present Union Minister. Ishwarappa, from the Kuruba community and present Cabinet Minister. Govind Karjol, from the Dalit community and present Deputy CM. Or Sunil Kumar, from the Idiga community. He is the present government chief whip and has hardcore Sangh background. Yedurappa has been known to quell many a rumbling in the past. The question is, will things be different this time? Bureau Report, India Today.
DK Shivkumar, the Karnataka Congress president, who hits out at the Yediyurappa government, saying that amidst the pandemic, the state government is rumbling for power. He says that if the Karnataka BJP government does not work, then people can tag him on social media platforms and he will fight on behalf of them. Let's take a listen.
See, what happens in any political party, they should look at loyalty, they should look at growth and everything. They try to poach MLAs, bring from other political party, all these type of things happen. But we don't want to intervene with their issue.
Let me quickly cut across to Nagarjun Dwarkanath joining us more. Nagarjun, this is quite a shame that here on one hand we're looking at Karnataka struggling with the COVID surge. On the other hand, it seems like the political class is rumbling for power. A huge number of MLAs now opposing Yediyurappa's leadership are already now trying to sign a petition to send it up to the centre. What exactly is happening? What is Yediyurappa's reaction to all of this?
Well, there's definitely smoke, and there's smoke without fire. It's not probable. And it was because one minister and one MLA went to Delhi in the recent days and camped there and tried to meet the High Command. It was Tourism Minister Yogeshwar, who was in Delhi in the last 3 days, tried to camp in Delhi and meet the High Command. And now the MLAs have started to speak to each other on the telephone to try to unite and how to express disappointment among themselves so that they can reach out to the High Command. That's the question. And will this lead to succession of another new leader? And Yediyurappa, will he step down? That's the big question. But however, today, the Chief Minister himself has clarified that in front of him, it's the COVID fight that takes priority, and no sort of MLA's rebellion will take priority. He and his government members and cabinet members are fighting this corona battle, and that's why even DK Shivkumar feels that MLAs are busy fighting when the state government is trying to fight out corona. BJP has failed as a government, as a party, to handle corona, and that's the reason the Congress president has said here in Karnataka that people can tag him on social media and he would fight for them.
Nagarjun, it's highly unfortunate that we're looking at the political class trying to struggle and stay in power. That's more the struggle than to actually fight corona and this crisis at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. Looking at the number of deaths that's been reported in Tamil Nadu, it seems like there's some pressure on crematoriums in the state. Now, to give some relief to those families who are looking for a dignified farewell for their loved ones, Sadhguru has now come forward and set up 18 crematoriums for people of Tamil Nadu. Let's take a look.
As cases mount in Tamil Nadu, crematoriums are overburdened across the state. This one in Coimbatore saw a long queue of people waiting for hours to cremate their loved ones. In the second wave, we've seen countless stories of grief and loss. And in many cases, families unable to even ensure dignity after death for their loved ones. And that's why Sadhguru's Isha Foundation has decided to set up crematoriums across Tamil Nadu to ensure that those who've left us get a dignified farewell.
To treat our dead with some sense of respect and regard and dignity. We cannot bring back the dead, We cannot prevent death either, it's not in our hands right now. But we can at least make it little easy for people who have been hardest hit.
Isha volunteers work at these crematoriums, toiling day in and day out to help bereaved families. 18 such crematoriums have been set up across the state, 12 in Coimbatore, 4 in Chennai and 1 in Neyveli.
தடை இல்லாமல் தொடர்ந்து நம்ம செய்யணுன்றது நமக்கு ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு கருத்தாகவே இருந்தது. அதுக்கான ஆலோசனையும் நாங்கள் சத்குருக்கிட்ட கேட்டிருந்தோம். அதுக்கு சத்குரு சொன்னது வந்து நம்ம எது செஞ்சாலும் இதில் மட்டும் நீங்கள் உறுதியாக இருக்கணும். ஒன்று அந்த இறந்த உடலுக்கான மதிப்பு, அதுக்கான கண்ணியம், அதை கெடுக்காமல் நம்ம இந்த செயல்கள்லாம் செய்யணும். அப்போ தான் நம்ம செய்யறதுக்கான நோக்கமே பூர்த்தி ஆகும் நமக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. அவங்க மேலும் சொல்லும் போது டிக்னிட்டி இன் டெத்னு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க.
These volunteers have been trained to help families as much as they can while following COVID protocol and also taking care of themselves. For countless families, these crematoriums have ensured dignity for the dead and helped families at least say a final goodbye. Bureau Report, India Today.
India's acclaimed freedom fighter H.S. Doraiswamy is no more. Very unfortunate news coming in from Karnataka. Doraiswamy, 103 years old, fought and battled COVID for quite a while and recovered from it. Very impressively recovered from it. And now, unfortunately, he had a cardiac arrest and died at a hospital. He was 103 years of age, a Gandhian, known for his participation in the Quit India movement and Vinoba Bhave's Bhudan movement as well. He was also very familiar, a very familiar figure for his campaigns to revive lakes in Bengaluru. He was known widely across country. People respected him for his nationalism and patriotism and the fights that he's had over the years.